The key to winning more games starts with a good landing spot. My personal favorite is this ocean town south of Fencing Fields. I like to land there or other locations that are near a medallion to loot up before fighting the sweaty players in the lobby. Surviving the start is definitely the hardest part of the game, which is why I would highly recommend you not land at a medallion directly. Looting up nearby and then rotating just sets you up for a much higher chance of success and allows you to third party anyone fighting with full health and a decent loadout. The three things that determine if your spot is good or not is 1. Does this spot have lots of chests? 2. Does this spot have slurp barrels or drones for shields? 3. Is this spot close to a medallion? If your spot meets all 3 of these requirements, then I would probably consider it a good spot to land. Now once you finish looting your drop spot, I want you to consider using a car or a G-Wagon to move around. I would highly suggest you not run by foot, even if you have a grapple. Sniping is super meta this season, so you want to limit your exposure to getting sniped at all costs. This is why you need the vehicle, because you can rotate not only faster, but safer. You can also use the vehicle for cover if you run up on an enemy, or hop in and reposition. Or you could run away if that's your only option, but there's just so many reasons to use the vehicle, I don't see why you wouldn't want to. I use the vehicle all the time to push enemies. I find it's a very nice mobile cover that I can just pair with a sniper and the assault rifle and get them really low, and then I can shockwave on them. So that's another method that you can use with the vehicle. But anyways, once you get over to where the medallion is, once you rotate with the vehicle, you don't actually have to fight the person with the medallion immediately. You can just sit around and wait for them to leave, or you can try to route around and get them when they're exiting. It really just depends how you want to play it. But if you don't want to fight the person with the medallion before you upgrade your guns, I like to go to the vault, and oftentimes I'll end up rotating to where the medallion is after they've already left. So then I'll use the vault, I'll upgrade my guns, and then I'll go after the person with the medallion. Because personally, I like to get my sniper and my shotgun and my assault rifle all with the right attachments, because then when I'm fighting someone, even though I don't have the medallion, and I like to have that for healing, generally speaking, I just feel so much more confident fighting someone with those other guns. I'd rather not have the medallion and have the good guns than challenge them with bad guns just to try to get the medallion faster. So that's one thing that you can keep in mind, is you don't actually have to fight the person with the medallion before you hit the vault. You can just hit the vault first. I would definitely recommend that, actually. Snooty steps, oftentimes that person rotates pretty quick. Fencing Fields, if that's the medallion that you're landing near, if you go there, that person, it usually takes a little bit longer because there's so many people that rotate to Fencing Fields. So you're definitely going to want to keep that in mind, that Fencing Fields person, it could take them a little while to get out of there. On average, of course. There's some servers where maybe the person kills the boss immediately and runs away, but you know, like 8 times out of 10, it's going to take a while for that boss to get killed, and then there's other people trying to kill the person with the medallion when they're going in the vault, so it just takes them a very long time to get out of there, and it's just one of those bosses. Grand Glacier, I think, is one that is people probably rotate out of faster. It's easier to get. Reckless, I think, is similar to fencing. Might be a little bit of a pain. There might be a little bit more people contesting, so it could be a little bit harder to get into the vault and get them out of there before fighting the person with the medallion. Lavish Lair, usually the person there rotates out pretty quick. So Snooty Steps, Lavish Lair, Grand Glacier, if you don't want to fight the person with the medallion before you get your guns upgraded, I would definitely hit those 3. Fencing Fields and Reckless are probably a little bit more contested, and it might just take the person a little bit longer to rotate out of there. So that's another thing to keep in mind if you're trying to increase your win rate. Take the fights you're most confident in against the medallion people with probably upgraded guns. I don't think anyone is going to feel better using a ground loot gun with no optic, especially a sniper. Like, if you have an iron sight sniper, there's no way that you're going to feel confident using that compared to your normal sight. If you use the 2x or the 4x, you are just not going to feel as comfortable using that iron sight or that holographic over the 4x or the 2x. So you're probably going to want to try to hit a vault if you can, hit the gunsmith, upgrade that bad boy, and then challenge those good players. That's a really good tip, actually. That's what I started doing recently, and oh my gosh, like the win rate just starts skyrocketing. It literally just keeps going up and up. So definitely implement that in your gameplay. And sometimes if you really have like a tough game where you just been getting screwed the whole game and you just haven't been able to make it to a vault because you keep encountering people and you're barely squeaking by beating them with the ground loot that you've had, you might have to go to the Rift Island. The Rift Island has gunsmith underneath, so also keep that in mind. The Rift Island is also a very viable option if you're looking for a gunsmith. So just keep that in mind. So once you have the medallion, I really like to carry the double movement, which is shockwaves and grapple, and then I carry shotgun, assault rifle, sniper. So I don't even carry heals. And the reason for that is I'm generally speaking pretty confident when I'm driving around like a car, like I told you earlier, that I'm not going to get hit before I hit someone else. So generally speaking, if I snipe someone, I'm pushing, like I'm shockwaving in, and that's why I have the shockwave. I have the grapple for repositioning. I push with shockwaves. The grapple is really bad for pushing. If you push with the grapple, like you're grappling into someone, I would definitely stop doing that. The grapple, especially since one of the recent updates where they made it more clunky and worse, it's definitely not like a pushing movement item. Shockwave is just way better. Your gun is ready and you can slide and you have all this momentum. You're super hard to hit. So I would definitely utilize the shockwave over the grapple for pushing someone. And also I like having the shockwaves because if you get really low, you can blast yourself out of buildings and you can get away fast. And that really can help you get away from a bad fight and reposition and get some heals somewhere, run to health, and then you can reset and get back in a fight. And then, you know, you're back at full health and then you can just kill the person easily. So there's a lot of instances where like if I wasn't carrying shockwaves, man, I'd be dying a lot more. So having the double movement is really huge, and that's why I like to pick up the medallions, because I run the double movement. So it gives me that shield advantage, especially once you get at least 4 medallions. Generally speaking, you only have to kill like 2 people, maybe 3. A lot of times you'll kill like one person that has 2 medallions already, and then you're golden. Like once you have like 3 medallions, you're healing really quick even though you don't go to full health. And once you are at 4, like you go to 85 shield, it's like GG's. Like you pretty much have it in the bag unless you get headshot sniped. It's really hard to lose once you have 4 medallions. But yeah, just try to implement these things in your gameplay. I really would like to reiterate using the vehicles, and then also the gunsmith. Try to get to a gunsmith before fighting someone with the medallion if you can. Even if they're like nearby at the POI, just try to sneak in the vault, crouch walk in there, get your guns good, and then try fighting them. I guarantee you'll start winning a lot more. Fighting with the bad loot, it's just not the move. I've been there, done that, tried it, and ever since I started switching it up and trying to go for better weapons, get them upgraded, it's been a breeze. Hope this helps. And if you enjoyed, please consider giving me a like or a subscribe, and comment something down below. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future, or if there's something I mentioned that you didn't quite understand.